interviewing Riley Winters, and he has just been terminated from TV. It's an online magazine company, and he is wondering about an age discriminant suit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Riley. How about you just tell me your full name and maybe some contact information and maybe a home address?
Riley Winters. My address is 21 Midlands Street, Main Street, I think,
Okay.
Midlands. My phone number is 612-886-4951. So you want to know, like,
Yeah. Let's. So you were working at TBD Inc. And how long have you been working there?
I started back in 1988. It was coming out of college when I used to go to Northwestern University. I graduated there with a journalism degree, and out of college, I started at TBT. Wasn't owned by Shaw at that point, but I started out as a junior copy editor. That was July 14th of 1988, and then once December hit, I got promoted to just a regular copy editor, and I did that for 2 years until 1990. I got promoted again to staff writer, which is closer to what I did when I was fired.
Okay.
And I did that for 7 years, and then that's when I was finally promoted to senior staff writer, and I did that all the way up until I was fired just not too long ago.
Okay. That's a good school. I've heard a lot of good things about the Northwestern
Yeah,
Journalism
it was a
School.
pretty good school.
And so you mentioned something about Shaw. He's the current owner.
Yes. Yeah,
Shaw.
I took over in 2014, I think in June, something like that.
So somewhere in 2014. Okay. All right. And so you started off junior copier, and you did that for I think you said 2 years, and then you started there, and then by September you got up to be a staff writer or a copywriter, and then did that for 7 years.
Mhm.
And once you got promoted to the senior staff writer, that's where you kind of apexed your position there. That was kind of the highest you applied. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what the clientele for this magazine, was it a younger crowd, older crowd?
Well, I thought, to be honest, our audience was just anyone who wanted to have a good read. But I mean, I don't really write for anyone particularly. I just write for myself. I write because I'm good at it. But as soon as Shaw and his staff took over, that all kind of changed, and they, for some reason, thought that going strictly online, at first we had 35 writers, 35 or 30, 31 to 35 writers, and as soon as Shaw took over, that cut drastically. We moved everything online, and all of a sudden we had 19 writers. So, but they would continually pressure everybody, including me, especially for me being older, that we had to write for millennials and younger audience, which I thought was not, correct, but I kind of played along with it, and I took like a social media class to better my internet skills.
I'm just gonna make sure the camera's still. Well, it's still going, so I don't know why it went black, but okay. So there was 19 of you after Shaw. How many senior writers were there?
Well, after Shaw took over, I was the only one.
Oh,
They
wow.
fired everybody.
Wow. Okay.
I was the top senior writer there. I was the head person. I was getting paid after 2005, 2006, roughly $200,000 a year, and I was the highest paid person up to Shaw.
Okay. And do you mind if I ask how much you made?
Yeah, like $200,000 a year.
Okay, 200,000. And did that depend on what type of articles you were writing, or is just that was the set salary?
Yeah, that was just a set salary. but I did have like a set number of articles I was supposed to write that they expected me to write. At first, before Shaw, I would write on average one article per week.
Okay.
But as soon as we moved everything online and Shaw took over, it was more so 3 to 5 a week.
Okay, so it seems like they were more stressing quantity as opposed to quality. Okay.
Definitely for sure, and yeah, definitely the quality of the articles in my mindset were kind of got a little silly, sophomore-ish.
Yeah.
It was kind of less serious. Instead of we're talking about things like who's Taylor Swift's new boyfriend or something like that. Didn't really.
Okay. Yeah, that seems. I don't know if I touched on what type of work. You mentioned that post Shaw it was more millennial type stuff. What were you writing before?
The same stuff, just a little more serious, I'd say. I've always wrote about culture and music, and just current events, stuff like that. But it's
today it seems more like it's surface level. It's not like an in-depth let's do a decent amount of research before we produce an article. Okay. So you said that you were the only remaining senior staff writer.
Correct.
And when the termination came out, did they specify that, or they just said we're making a change? Or tell me about what your version of it was.
As soon as Shaw took over, he said there was going to be a lot of changes and they're going to change a lot of things up. I got fired December 25th, 2015, and we were just getting ready to have a Christmas holiday party. A bunch of our coworkers were there, and we were having celebrities, and we tried to have a party before for everyone to get to know each other, but Shaw didn't seem interested in making bonds with people. I said hi to him once or twice, but he canceled a couple before that. And as soon as the party was starting, he called. Who was it? I think it was Tom Perez called me in. The editor called me into his office. And said that he wanted to talk to me, and I just figured that I was getting my raise.
Yeah.
But then he said that TBT was going in a different direction, and it was my last day. I said I didn't understand. I'm a senior writer. I'm getting all this money, and he said that's part of the problem. Right after I said I'm a senior writer, and then I kind of looked at him. And he kind of chuckled a little bit, and then he got embarrassed and acted like it was the wrong thing to say, so I kind of feel like he was making a joke about my age right there, saying that I was the senior writer.
Oh. How old is Tom Perez?
I think he's around 32, 35 years old.
So, decent, I mean, it's a middle, young age.
Yeah, he's a smart, he's a bright guy, but yeah, I just think he kind of works for, Shaw and all of them are just kind of assholes.
Okay. So they call you in, and did they ever talk about maybe taking a pay cut or?
Nope, it was just spur of the moment type thing. But I had received emails from him before, and the comments he would put in there just kind of really just did not seem appropriate. They definitely seemed ageist, and I started fearing for my job weeks or a year before, but I never thought I was actually going to lose my job.
So did they ever have staff meetings where they, the higher up people talk about hey, let's write about this, or there's new topics that we should talk about? Did they ever do any type of work?
Nope.
No.
They would have meetings geared for younger workers that they would say that I have to attend, but really it didn't really make any sense for me to go to those because I'm not a younger employee. But the only other thing that I did for them was that social media class that I talked about earlier. They told me that it was a good idea, and they're really glad that I was taking initiative. But then the next day they commented or made some kind of silly. It was a joke, I guess, but it didn't seem appropriate. He said, "Look, guys, look everyone, Riley Winters on Facebook now. Oh my God, they're kind of mocking me, and I didn't really appreciate it.
It's kind of like you didn't belong there,
yeah.
sort of deal. So when you said newer employees or younger employees, were those newer employees or those just all the young staff people?
Just yeah, all the young staff. I mean, they hadn't really hired many people until I didn't really realize them hiring people until like right when I got fired. Like I
Okay.
know there's this guy, the guy who replaced me. I'm pretty sure his name is Landon Green. I don't know. I didn't know much about him until after. I still don't know much about him to be honest. He was just a young guy who I never heard of before, and all of a sudden he was taking. It seems like he's taking my job.
Yeah, that's. Do you have an age for him? Or
Uh,
you specify you didn't know much, so
Yeah, I'm not.
we
for
can
sure,
find him.
but yeah.
Um, did they bring any, like you mentioned like a couple social networking sites? Did they mention or did they bring in any newer technology that maybe they didn't introduce to you or?
Mm, I don't. I don't think so.
Okay.
They did urge people if they wanted to that after we made the move to only being on only being on the internet that you could work from home if you wanted to.
Okay.
But I I'm old school. I like to have my um, I like to have people helping me getting my articles together. I like my office space and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
Okay. I got just a couple more. I mean, it seems pretty straightforward what you're telling me. Were you planning on retiring soon, or did you still enjoy your work? Um,
I wasn't planning on retiring, but now I can't go to work because I was diagnosed with post traumatic stress disorder
okay.
from being
Oh, wow.
fired. I've been seeing a psychiatrist that's cost me like $11,000 in the last couple months. Yeah, I've been like really depressed and I just can't go to work right now. I just don't have confidence and the journaling industry is kind of going. It's hard to get a job right now. So
Yeah, with all the bloggers right now, everyone thinks they're sort of a writer. Um,
Making sure this still records.
um, so you weren't planning on retiring, but now since the firing, you've developed PTS, a couple other disorders that you have to counsel with a psychiatrist. You mentioned something about the money. Were you looking for a raise? Were you anticipating a raise?
I mean, I kind of not really. I mean,
Okay.
just like I said, when I was called in the office, I thought I was going to get a raise, but I thought, I mean, everything was just going to kind of stay level, because I didn't think I was going to get fired at all. And I'd
Okay.
already made it to the top. I was
Yeah.
already. I mean, I got plenty of awards from like American Association of Journalism. Called me Culture Writer of the Year, 1988, 1999, 2006.
Oh, wow.
Got a couple of other awards from other places. So I mean, I'd already made it.
Yeah, it seems strange with as decorated as you were, and Shaw coming in. I think you said 2014. You think they would want to counsel or discuss directions with the senior writer that's so decorated.
And I'd already. I mean, most people in my profession don't get paid that much, so I was already getting paid more than most.
Yeah, that's definitely with that profession. Austin Perez, does that name ring a bell? Do you know?
Yes, Austin. He's the editor. He was the one that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I said Tom Perez. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, it's okay. Austin. And how long had he been the editor? If you know that one.
For a while, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I'd say at least 10 years.
10 years. Okay, so it's turn of the century, kind of in there. 2004, 5 roughly. Okay. One last question. Did the company have any writing policies?
Not really, as I know. I mean, there's the only time I had a problem with writing an article was when I was writing an article on Turntable Music, and they're the biggest advertiser for TBD. And I kind of was criticizing them. I thought that I said that they're doing their music thing wrong, and I guess they got upset about it, but I mean, I shouldn't have been fired for something like that for sure.
What year was that?
I just this last year.
Just this last year, okay. Yeah, I mean, the writers always kind of critique things, so, but we'll definitely look into. I'm sorry, did you say the name of the turntable?
Yeah, it's called Turntable Music.
Turntable, okay. Did Shaw ever speak to you about that issue? No, never addressed it. Oh, that's strange. Okay. Were there any questions you wanted to ask me, like going forward with the case?
No, I think I'm fine for now.
Okay. We're gonna talk with other like Shaw, and then we're gonna talk with Austin Perez. We're gonna schedule an interview with you, a follow-up interview, and then we're gonna consult Dr. Carrie Kramer, who's an expert in this field, I guess, on age discrimination suits. So we're gonna speak with her, and then we'll contact you.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.